moral of the story is work till your arms fall off, till your abs get hard, and your moral of the story is.
Hey, what's up? It's Nathan for Access.com. We're here at Bumbershoot with Watsky.
And the moral of the story is right till my fingers look like a bouquet of roses. You gotta bring yourself your flowers now and show.
One of the biggest moments in your career actually came off of a viral video from YouTube, right? Kale Kid Raps Fast.
That's what the video was originally titled, to try and get people to share it around. You know, my thinking was if I fail and if I suck, people are still gonna share it because it'll be funny for them, and if I'm good, they'll be pleasantly surprised, and that's exactly what happened. It was a huge boost to me. It started to help me build this online following, and since then what's been great is people have actually been checking out my other material and my actual songs, and we've been able to make the leap from being like viral to actually playing tours that do well and festivals and stuff, which is what I was hoping would happen.
You actually had bigger exposure with that poetry jam, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I had more of a credit, but these days having a TV appearance doesn't mean as much as having a big video online in terms of eyeballs that are on it. Like, being on HBO was really great for my resume, but didn't translate to people actually knowing all my other material and showing up to gigs. So these days it's crazy how much exposure you can get from a video that's really big, even if it's not a traditional media source.
Do you ever worry that some of your lyrics go over the heads of your fans?
I'm not worried about that, because if people are listening, then they're appreciating on some level, and if they take the time to listen more deeply, they're gonna find out what I'm trying to do. For better or for worse, the average listener is not trying to unpack every verse that you're doing as they're listening, which means that even if I was saying some simple shit, it probably wouldn't matter. And if it's really good, it probably doesn't matter to the average listener. However, with that being said, I think hip hop's changing. And I think it's changed in the last month. I think maybe I'm being naive, but with what happened with the response to Kendrick's verse on Control, what we're seeing for the first time in over a decade is the main thing that people are talking about in terms of hip hop being lyricism, instead of what a rapper looks like or what they're dressed like, or who they're representing. It's can they spit? And that sounds so simple, but for a huge chunk of the last 10, 15 years, that's not what people have been talking about. And I'm really optimistic that being a good MC is becoming more important again.
Do you think that swag is dead and that honesty is kind of supplanting braggadocio in hip hop?
I think that right now what's happening is there's kind of a mix between maybe an earlier Rakim era of hip hop where image wasn't important, and now lyrics and image are becoming important. You look at all the people who are blowing up. Kendrick is stylish. Macklemore is super stylish and very, very his fashion is a big part of how people see him, even though it's a different kind of fashion. I don't really have that so much, so I don't know, if that's gonna hinder me, but I think that image isn't stopping being important. It's just that people want somebody who can project what they want to see and say what they want to hear too.
It's been great talking with you. Do you have any last words or shout outs or anything like that?
My last words are, I'm doing a tour with another artist named Wax called Hug a Hater, and it's coming to a city maybe or maybe not near you. It's not coming to the Pacific Northwest, unfortunately, but hugahater.com, 35 dates on the East Coast, the South, and Europe. And if you're near, I would love to see you, and if not, I hope to be back in Seattle really soon. Thanks for talking to me.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man.
My pleasure.